I study the game. I like to watch some of the older games at times. So the other night, I'm watching the Sixers, 2001 Sixers, play against the Lakers. There's the finals, right? And I watched one of the games, and then, of course, YouTube prompts Shaq highlights from the game, right? So I look at Shaq highlights, and he got guys bouncing off him like a goddamn bowling ball. He dunking everything. And he making outlet passes. I mean, he looks like the most unstoppable person you could ever see on the court. And it made me think to myself, there's no way that Kobe fans is arguing that Kobe was a leader on this team. There's no way. Like, I can understand in some areas a leader, but the fact that some Kobe fans actually is online writing paragraphs, making pages, trying to convince people that Kobe was the leader of a Shaq team, the way Shaq was playing. Like, I remember they saying the stats at the end of the series for the Sixers. He had 17 blocks over 5 games. Averaged 33 points, 15 rebounds. Who's going to be the leader of that? How are you going to be ahead of him? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Shaq could have won without Kobe. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. But I'll tell you this. The Lakers couldn't have won that series or any series with Shaq scoring 19 points, 15 points in any of those games. Same thing for the Pacers. The Pacers series, Kobe was injured, but he averaged 15 points. You tell me which Shaq team, three-peat team, what three-peat they would have won with Shaq averaging 15 points. Impossible. And it is just not true. But like I said, Shaq couldn't have did it without Kobe. But Kobe had Shaq in his prime. So I respect both, but we got to be real. My Kobe fans, man, we got to be real about this. We just got to be real, and it's okay. Listen, man, when you guys argue Kobe being better than the guys ahead of him in the GOAT debate, I like to call that a passion project. That's a passion project. We got a lot of passion for Kobe. And it's a project trying to convince everyone that he was better. Because he got too many, not flaws in his game, but just too many flaws in his story. Right? When I say flaws in his story, I mean, here's a guy came in the league out of high school, fair. But he was on the bench. That wasn't LeBron's story. Shaq came in, he was already the man. Jordan came in, he had to be the man. He had to develop, which is fine. I think Kobe's the best player of all time who had to develop. Best player of all time, 1,010%. Right? Then you have three All-Stars on that team, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, and Shaq. Then you're in a major market. Then you get Shaq in his prime. You win 3 rings. Shaq won all accolades. How you going to argue that against guys who came on a team that had no one, turned a franchise into a winning franchise? How you going to help them with that? How you going to argue that? So you guys let me know in the comments. Let me know if I'm tripping. Now, speaking of Jordan, now I was talking to one of the scorers. I like to interact with him. I like to interact with my guys, man. And it was like, yo, why you stop doing the debates? And for me, it's just not. Debating Jordan and LeBron is not a real thing for me, right? It's just not a real thing for me. The reason why I say that is because Bron is my number 1, Jordan is my number 2. What are you going to tell me that I don't know, that I didn't already consider before making Bron my number 1? What are you going to tell me? I know the same stats you know. That's not a debate. That's just a preference. That's just a preference. Because any given night, if we need a buzzer beater and you say who you going to get in there, who you going to have shoot the buzzer beater, we'll say Jordan. Doesn't mean he's a better player than Bron. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So you guys, so when people try to debate this. It's just like, man, it's not a real debate. It's a preference thing. If you want to, a debate would be if Jordan was number 7. You know what I mean? Because then at that point, I got to convince you why 6 other people is better than him. That's a debate. Me saying Jordan is number 2 and you saying Bron should be number 2, that's not a debate. That's just a preference thing. That's just what you like. Because you got to understand how hard it is to be number 2 of all time in one of the greatest league ever. Come on, man. We got to be real. We got to be real. And people always try to get you with that, E. Who would you let take the last shot? Who would you take the last shot? Jordan. But how many times I need somebody to take a last shot out of a whole season in playoffs? like, you know what I mean? And just because I picked Jordan don't mean that LeBron couldn't hit the last shot. It's just that Jordan will get to the shot faster than LeBron. Very simple. He want to take the shot. I'm okay with that. But if I had to pick a player, right? Like if I had to pick a player and I had to say, okay, I don't know who's going to be on my team. I'm starting my franchise. I don't know who's going to be on my team, but I need one player. Whoever's going to be on the team, he's going to make them better. I don't know who's going to be my coach, but I need one player to even make the coach look good. I don't know who's going to rebound. I don't know if I got passes, but if I had to pick one player to do majority of that work and score, I'm picking LeBron, the better player. Very simple. Somebody say, well, who would you pick for defense out of the 3? Kobe. Kobe played the best one-on-one, on-ball defense out of the 3. But it doesn't mean he's a better player. It means just exactly what I said, the better defender.